realize what I didn't do. But so now we're going to go and I'll say hello again. So transformations and transitions, transformations becoming something new from what we once were. And the transition is the time period, in between. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And so right now I've been in this transition of getting out of my corporate career for probably almost about 2 years. About 2 years ago, I sat down with the folks that I worked for. I have a corporate job. I literally employed by a major corporation. And I told them, I have a passion that I want to follow. And that was this work. Right. And I said, I need some more space. I need more of my time back in order to do that. And so one of the transition kind of started then. And we agreed at that particular point. I moved down to working only 30 hours a week. My salary was prorated, so I took a pay cut in order to do that. Don't think that, that business wasn't, wise, or silly or for doing that. But that transition started then because one of the things that I talked to my manager about was at some point, I will be walking away from working for other people. Well, my dear friends, you may guess why we're talking about transformations and transitions. And that's because right now I'm going through a big one, like smack dab, right? Smack dab. I'm like swirling in the middle of it. And, this is both a transformation, right? A new transformation, because I've already, like, the recovery was the last one. This is a new transformation of becoming someone that worked for someone to a business owner that is now supporting and employing and, at some point, operating ideally a well-known, respected spiritual business that is able to employ and take care of other families, through it. I mean, that's a big transformation. I mean, wow, just even feeling how that sits in me, this whole somatic response of chills goes down my body. And the transition, I have started this one, as I said, 2 years ago, but the biggest piece of actually taking those steps has been within the past month. That's really I come forward because after the holidays, I realized that in stepping back into corporate and things of that nature, I had to be very, very honest with myself and make the realization that I'm actually burning the candle at two ends right now. And that is something old, alcoholic, suffering, workaholic, perfectionist, control freak, Sunshine would have been doing many, 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 many moons ago. But that's not who I am today. And so I won't grind myself. I won't. Yes, I'm very busy. I've begun the conversations with my manager in my corporate job that something needs to change. And so that's cool. I'm sharing a personal story with you. Hopefully you can relate to me in maybe some way. Maybe you've got something that you've done in the past, the big transformation, you've had to go through transitions. But of course, why I'm not here to just tell you stories about myself. I'm here to tell you information that is helpful to you and helpful for you navigating your own witchy journey, right? And so transformations and transitions, why we're talking about it is because they greatly impact us, right? They may be for all of the right reasons, right? Leaving a corporate job to own your own business, leaving a shitty relationship, and, to be able to like flourish and take care of yourself, getting divorced, and in order to like really truly start to find your own self-worth. What else? Leaving home for the first time. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, literally, I'm living right now in a household of a bunch of people in the middle of these transformations and transitions. It's kind of wild, not gonna lie. But it greatly impacts us. And there's a couple of ways from our body. Our body is going to be impacted. For me personally, I'm experiencing tremendous bouts of insomnia. And I think I might have said that the last time. The fatigue, right? I do know other individuals that have gone through sickness, illness. I have, one close, a friend that has literally found themselves in the last couple of weeks, they passed out, right? Because that body, their body is having such um, just like this intense time of going through this, right? Even my niece, she had a flare up of all of her immune responses, hives, things of that nature, right? When you're going through transformations and these transitions, even if they're all for the right reasons, your body is going to respond to them. Your body's going to respond to them. The second one is the mind, right? And I would say this is the hardest one. And I really do think it's because our mind is what ultimately tortures us, right? So you may have doubts. You may start to have regrets, creeping doubt, like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know if I can do this. This might be too much. I might not be able to. I might not be capable of, right? You may literally start to doubt. You may have spent months, years figuring it out, working towards it, and doubt may creep in. Okay? It's human. It's understandable. I mean, come on. I am literally thinking about leaving a corporate job that I've been at for almost 6 years, a career that I've been at for over 25. You don't think doubt hasn't snuck in and whispered in my ear? Regrets. You may start having some regrets for some of the changes and the decisions that you've already started to make. You may have these feelings of like, oh man, I really shouldn't have done that. Well, if you've been around long enough, you know what I say for the shoulds, right? Fuck those. I think the most dangerous one of all, though, that our mind will play with us is that shame for our decisions, right? What if we truly just made a decision for ourselves for the very first time, right? What if we found enough courage to walk away from, like me, over, I guess I would think it would be 7 years ago, an abusive marriage that like everybody else thought this dude was like A-okay, right? What if it was the first time that you found the courage to actually do something for yourself and it was so drastic and so big? Do you know how easy it is for the feelings of shame to start to sneak in? And that shame don't even whisper. It just sits in you. It just goes automatically from mind right into body. Mm-hmm. The last is spirit. And when it comes to our spirit, there are two things, right? That this is the impact. Number one, if you have done magic to bring about this change, if you've done any type of alchemical work to try to bring about this change, if you've conducted spells, you've conducted rituals or anything of that nature, you need to recalibrate. Remember them timeline conversation we had last episode? You need to recalibrate. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. Okay? Your whole energetic body and spirit needs to recalibrate. And because of that, once again, that's where that mind sometimes can get in the way because that recalibration is happening. That body may start to experience some, symptoms. And let's be real, as that recalibration happens, the way that the universe works is it's going to tap you on the shoulder in a number of different ways and say, you sure this is what you want? Because once you step over a certain line, there's no going back. Are you sure? And so you may be tested. You may have scenarios, situations, people, places, things that pop up in your life to test you, to make sure that you're not returning back to any old ways. Well, that's why I'm sharing all this with you. What do you do about it? Let's say you are just like me, my dear friend, my partner, my niece, all of these people that are literally living in this house with me right now, going through these transformations and transitions. What do you do? Number one, I can't emphasize this enough. If you don't do any of these other things that I mentioned, do this. Keep your vibration high with a practice of gratitude. Count your fucking blessings. Recognize all of the amazing, incredible accomplishments that you've done, that you have. Be proud of yourself, right? For making the hard decisions and taking the hard steps. You know, tell people that you're grateful for them. Like, be the gratitude, I don't even know, sorcerer. The gratitude fairy. There we go. Be the gratitude fairy and sprinkle that fucking gratitude on every goddamn thing that you can. Every place that you can. You know, you walk into a store and somebody holds the door open for you. Oh, I'm so grateful that you just did that for me. Thank you so much. Every way that you can. Keep your vibration high. That's the number one. You can't do any of these others. Do that one. The second one, which can sometimes be a lot easier to say than to practice. Give yourself some more grace. Be easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. You may have a whole bunch of people around you that are rooting you on, cheering you, supporting you, or you may have none. At the end of the day, regardless of the situation, the most important person that needs to be kind to you, loving, and supportive is you. You might need to practice some forgiveness, you know, especially if you find that mind start to sneak up on you. You start to hear or, you know, get some of those little thoughts that maybe aren't in your best interest. Forgive yourself. You're human. That's okay. You don't have to be perfect. I mean, it's impossible to be perfect. So practice a little bit more forgiveness, a little bit more grace, rest a little bit more, take things a little bit slower, you know, intentionally so. Maybe once upon a time, if you had a task and you'd set aside a half an hour, set aside an hour, set aside 2. Be okay not doing some things, right? Be okay not doing some things. I will tell you, if if you were to see my list of things that I have not done, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I'm okay with that. I literally I hired a business coach in November, you know, very, very hefty price tag. And even though I'm paying it, I said, sorry, I can't do any more work right now. You know, be okay with that. Meaning say no to more things. No is a very powerful word. If you are not practiced at saying it, now is a really good time to practice. Yeah, really good time. And as a matter of fact, if you're listening to this, I would love for you to like shoot me an email and tell me something you said no to so I could celebrate that with you. Um, Another one, and I actually wrote about this to my email list, I think last week. And it's really been sitting with me a lot in these last couple of days. But feed yourself nutritious substance, right? Feed your mind nutritious substance. You know, don't watch shitty things. Try to stay off social media. You know, if you got to be on social media, go add a bunch of groups that are like really high vibration, like great memes, great topics. My favorites. I've got like a bunch of house plants groups that I'm in. I've got like old homes, antiques, things of that nature, like things that are really fun and light. Right? Feed your mind. Don't watch any shows. Like there are certain TV shows and things that I can't watch because they'll create anxiety and discomfort in me. I may love them, right? But like right now, no way, right? No way. I forget what show. Oh, there was a show my niece and I were watching called In the Dark. Great show. But we pretty much stopped probably around the beginning of December because it was getting so, it was an amazing drama. I just couldn't handle it anymore. I didn't have the capacity for it, right? So you'll definitely want to feed your mind all sorts of really good stuff. Maybe get into a habit of even writing, journaling on a daily basis. Get all that, maybe that crazy making thoughts out of your head. Obviously, I hope this is pretty obvious and you're already doing this, but if by chance you're not, here's a nice gentle reminder, feed your body well. That's both, the food that you consume as well as some of the movements that you make. I believe both are nutritious substances that we can give our body, right? Maybe dance a little bit more, maybe stretch. And I'm not talking about, I am not talking about like this like real rigid or discipline, right? I love, if you can add in some more fruit and veggies, that's a real good thing to do. I've actually started last, probably at maybe almost a year ago. I would start to prioritize what I ate based upon fruits or vegetables. So that was the first thing that I would look at within the house. What kind of vegetables did I have? And then I would start creating meals and things around that. Which made a big difference, made a really big difference. And as far as like the movement things go, it doesn't need to be crazy. I told my one friend the other day I was cooking dinner and I love to dance while I cook. So it's this like, very intentional movement while I'm cooking. The radio's on, I get to dance and twirl. And I mean, I don't know about you, but kitchen floors are really great for like sliding and dancing on. you know, And last, I would say feed your spirit. Feed your spirit. Surround yourself with people that are going to support you. Surround yourself with people. Like, here's a big one. Surround yourself with people that understand that you crying is incredibly cathartic, that are just going to like encourage you to let it out. They're going to hug you. They're going to pat you on the back, and they're just going to let you just bawl in their arms. Surround yourself with those kind of people, right? Feed your spirit. Read good books. Continue your spiritual practices. If you pull cards or you pray, or if you say affirmations, continue those. And last, but so not least, don't give up. Don't turn back. If you made a decision to make a major transformation in your life, even if the transition feels uncomfortable, scary, crazy, weird, overwhelming, I've gone through enough of them now to know that when you are making those decisions for yourself, for your happiness, for your peace, and for your health, they will always turn out better in the end. So don't give up. I believe in you. And if for some odd reason you are doubting yourself just a little bit today, lean on my belief. Because I think you're fucking incredible and you are worth it. So with that, my dear friends, I hope that you have an absolutely blessed rest of your day. I am very grateful for you tuning in, for you listening, for you being there, and for you just supporting. So thank you so much. Much love from me, each and every one of you. Until next time.